Okay, let's talk about H1Z1. Yo, what is happening guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to be talking about H1Z1 again. Obviously, as many of you guys know at this stage, it's been very quiet around H1Z1 since the end of April. Robin Flodin, who was the CEO of EG7, put together a video for us where he was talking about pretty much everything that's happening with H1Z1. In that video, he said that they've got running versions of H1Z1 Just Survive and Pre-Season 3, but they're still trying to decide what to do with it. They're looking for a studio to take over, and they're going to be making a decision and obviously communicating with the community in order to find out what the best thing is to do. Whenever EG7 first took over H1Z1, they talked a lot about what Daybreak done wrong with their games in terms of communication and how they're going to bring that forward with EG7's games in the future and look over the studios to make sure that they're communicating and doing things correctly. Since April 30th, we've had absolutely no info, no replies to tweets, no server maintenance, absolutely no info in H1Z1. Now, a few months ago, you guys may have seen something published that Robin had actually sold some shares in EG7. I want to make you guys aware that Robin was the CEO of EG7 because he basically founded it with another person. As they grew the business, around the time of taking over H1Z1, Robin had around 5% of EG7's overall shares. Obviously, with all of the acquisitions that they made, the stock price of EG7 went up, and he decided to sell some of his stocks, which brought him from 5% down to 3.3% of EG7's overall shares. A lot of people were quite concerned about this. Why would the CEO of EG7 start selling shares? However, he did have more money invested in EG7 than ever due to the rise of the stock prices. More recently, in the last couple of weeks, we've seen one of EG7's interim reports where he again just said, we don't talk about games, look at our official channels for those, which of course was a hope for some people that, you know, because he's done it in the past, that he may talk about H1Z1 in his interim report, which of course some people were disappointed that he didn't. It came out a few days later that there was a joint decision for Robin to step down as CEO and for G-Ham to take over as CEO of EG7. The main shareholders in Daybreak were given a large proportion of EG7 as part of the $300 million takeover, and G-Ham was the CEO of Daybreak and was the guy who was in charge of H1Z1 whenever the combat update came out. He was the one who shut down Just Survive. This is the guy that, you know, managed the budgeting and stuff like that and the marketing for the likes of H1Z1, and from what I've heard, he's not really a risk taker when it comes to these games. And as you've seen with Daybreak games in the past, they don't really market, they don't really expand their studios to the right level, and they never go all in with games to try and make them as good and as successful as possible. They make games, they do some updates, and over time, the updates get less and less, and of course they'll just keep adding cosmetic items to continue making money from these games. We're now in a situation where G-Ham is the CEO of EG7, and any decision-making process that comes around H1Z1, given his vast experience, will be going through him. This does not bode well for H1Z1, and, you know, as soon as I heard this, I basically give up any shred of hope that I had that H1 may or may not come back. I give up any shred of hope that I had that H1Z1 may make a comeback, because other than what we know publicly, I've heard a few things from behind the scenes that G-Ham was a very destructive person to work with. I've heard quite some stories about his demeanour towards his staff, how he treats his employees, and generally his disdain for H1Z1 and its community. I personally think that G-Ham hates H1Z1, and that's no exaggeration. They'd done bad updates to the game, and they resented the H1Z1 community for not liking the updates, which completely changed the game. There's some things that I can't really tell you because it is private information, but G-Ham is not going to do the best thing for H1Z1. Now, the interesting thing that is coming up in the near future is that on the Direkt Studios channel, EG7 are doing an introduction with G-Ham. It remains to be seen if he will give us any information. However, I can't envision a scenario where G-Ham goes all out to bring back Pre-Season 3, Just Survive, and really expand on the H1Z1 IP. I've got a feeling that he will advise the shareholders that it's a waste of money and that they should move on elsewhere. But again, that all remains to be seen. Personally, I've given up any hope that I ever had with H1Z1, and with all of the radio silence for the last couple of months, you know, it wasn't looking good anyway. Whenever Robin took over H1Z1, it seemed like he really cared about the games. I can tell you for a fact that G-Ham does not care about the games. He cares about the bottom line, he cares about money, he cares about profit. And of course, as you guys have seen with EG7, it's Robin's vision, it's his dream. He wants to acquire all of these studios under his umbrella. He wants to spend money, he wants to get in there and, you know, get personal with these games. That's just not the type of person G-Ham is. We even had a tweet from Ark Lager where he was just like, ha 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 ha, whenever he seen that was happening. And we've heard various things from devs and stuff on Twitter in the past about the kind of work environment under Daybreak and how that was. I even heard a story about the time that they added I think it was triple HP. Apparently G-Ham completely forced the team, even after everybody said it was a terrible idea. He forced the team, and he sat there and watched the guy implement triple HP. That's how obsessive and crazy he was, because he was watching Fortnite, and he thought because Fortnite had more health, that it would be good for H1Z1, and that's why H1Z1 wasn't successful. This guy has absolutely no clue, and personally, I think it's time to move on from H1Z1, boys. Let me know what you guys think about all that. I'm sorry it's a bit of a negative one. For me, you know, if everything does go well, of course I'll play, you know, preseason free, just survive. If I can see that they're doing something. Maybe the EG7 management sees the potential in H1Z1 and will not allow G-Ham to ruin it like he did before. Again, there's some information that I can't really share with you about G-Ham and all of the stuff that he's done within Daybreak. Just rest assured, man, he's just not the guy. Otherwise, we probably never would have had the combat update in H1Z1 to begin with. Let me know what you guys think about that. Sorry for the negative video. For me in the channel, I'll just continue playing Warzone. Call of Duty Vanguard's coming out quite soon. Let me know like what games you guys are playing, what games you're excited for. I recently started playing Vigor. I really do think it is just time to move on from H1Z1. Even H1Z1 Can Revive on Twitter, who's the most obsessive person about H1Z1 ever, has basically said that he's given up on it too. I think the writing's on the wall, ladies and gents. Don't expect anything, and if something does happen, you'll be pleasantly surprised. Otherwise, I think you're going to end up disappointed. Everybody, thank you for watching. Sorry for being so depressing. I'm sure that's not what a lot of you guys wanted to hear, but I had to let you guys know what was going on. This video is long overdue. And you know, for what it's worth, I know that you guys don't watch me for anything else except for H1Z1, but I appreciate everybody who came back during that time. But who really knows? Maybe in 2 days, G-Ham's going to come in and he's going to be like, right boys, listen, preseason free is coming back this weekend. We're getting crossplay. We're going to make, you know, this game for PS5. We're going to go crazy. We're bringing back Just Survive. It's all going to be free to play, boys. Let's fucking go. I just wouldn't put any money on it. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Everybody take care of yourselves. I appreciate you being here. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.